Welcome to Season 1, Episode 2 of the We Regret Nothing podcast. In Season 1, we are covering the decade, the 1920s, trying to find those 5 items from each category to place into a capsule and launch into space for the aliens that find it to better understand that decade. Now, in Episode 1, I introduced the top 20 movies in the 1920s, and our 2 panelists, Andrea and Michelle, gave us their takes on the first 10 movies on that list. In this episode, I will try to keep them on track and see if we can not only make it through the next 10 movies, but also get them to agree on the top 10 culturally significant movies of the 1920s. Before we begin today's episode, though, we want to give a content warning. This episode includes a discussion that references the sexual assault and death of Virginia Rapp and the controversy surrounding Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle. Now, we felt these topics were an important part of film history, but they may be distressing to some listeners. If you need to skip that section, we will include a timestamp in the show notes so that you will know where to rejoin the episode when the conversation moves on. Please remember, take care of yourself. And as always, thank you for listening. Welcome back to the second half of Films of the 20s. In the first episode, we went through the first 10 movies on the list. And now we are going to jump into the second 10 movies on the list, starting with Andrea, number 11, Nosferatu, 1922, silent German expressionist vampire movie. Just right there, we could probably stop. But directed by F.W. Murnau, from a screenplay by Henrik Galeen. So this stars Max Schreck as Count Orlok, a vampire who preys on the wife of his estate agent and brings a plague to their town, essentially. So an unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula. I have a feeling the panelists are going to have some feelings. So this is produced by Prana Film and is an unauthorized adaptation of that novel. Various names and other details were changed from the novel, including Count Dracula being renamed to Count Orlok. Although these changes are often represented as a defense against copyright infringement in cases like these, the original German intertitles acknowledged Dracula as the source. So David Collot, so this film historian David Collot says that this film was a low-budget film made by Germans for Germans. Setting it in Germany with German named characters makes the story more tangible and immediate for German-speaking viewers. So even with the details altered, like even though it was acknowledged that it was a ripoff, but Stoker's widow sued over the adaptation's copyright violation, and the court ruled all copies of this film must be destroyed. But they were. However, several prints of Nosferatu survived, and the film came to be regarded as an influential masterpiece of cinema and, quite frankly, the horror genre. So, what do we think about Nosferatu?
No notes. I love it. I love it so much. You talk about Lon Chaney's creepy ass. This gives me nightmares when I see it.
Yes. The whole
no notes.
Everything about this. And here's the thing where now I'm just being stereotyped because I think her name was Mary because she was Irish. But seriously, I'm like, Bram Stoker's widow's name. But I think more she was like, Dracula has never, to this day, Dracula from the source material has never been done well. But the 2 times that Nosferatu has knocked it out, and I will with Eggers Last Christmas, and this one, that is the book Dracula. It is so good. So I understand she's upset. I really do. I get it. Like, bitch, but I also get the, like, we just changed the names to, like, German people because we're in Germany. I get that too. This this is this is such a masterpiece. It is insane, and you know how much I love Dracula. You like vampire. Love vampires. The first scary book I ever read was about vampires.
Vampire fan.
So this holds up today. Max Schreck is,
Terrifying.
and if you watch, what is it? Shadow of the Vampire? What's the Willem Dafoe one?
Shadow of the Vampire.
If you watch that, then you're like, okay. But it's so good. It's so good.
Spoiler alert, shocker for y'all. I have not seen the new one. My opportunity to see it, also shocker for you, was on a plane, and I thought, this maybe is not the place to watch this one.
No.
I've seen enough and read enough about the new one that I know I probably should not watch this next to a stranger on a plane.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
But I almost kind of don't want to. Do you know, like, I talk about this a lot with bands. Like, I see a thing, and I love it so much, and I feel like it's perfect, and I don't want to ruin it, and then sometimes I ruin it.
Yeah.
I see one thing, and I go, should that take away from the other thing? No, but sometimes it does. So I probably will see the new one because I love Nicholas Hoult.
Because
we have no notes.
We don't. We have no notes. You know what?
So
Move on.
no notes.
Move on. It was great.
Except for we just talked for 15 minutes.
My note actually said, all copies destroyed, several survived because Dracula adaptations suck. Pun not intended.
So next, Metropolis, 1927. Metropolis is regarded as the science fiction film. It is among the first feature-length science fiction movies of that genre, or of that decade, sorry. So filming took place over 17 months in 1925, 1926, at a cost of just over $21 million.
In 1927
$27.
Yikes.
Thoughts about Metropolis?
My note says blurg.
Oh,
Yes.
Mine says 9 out of 10, some notes.
No, well, number one, I was forced to watch this movie. My mom got it from the video store, and I had to watch this, and I was just like, no, and I like to think that I had a pretty wide view of films that I watched. It's not like I was just like a John Hughes girl or something like. But this,
And I know you don't want to say this, but I do credit your mom and working at the video store for broadening my horizons on what I would or would not normally watch.
Yes. It actually is amazing what you will watch when it's free.
Oh, I'm big on the free part.
But I never cared for it. I like the Madonna music video adaptation that's based on this.
Okay, so let me jump in for a second. I was waiting for you all to talk because I really I thought that Michelle would jump on this. You kind of brought it up. So let me do this.
I know what you're going to say.
So I have some bullet points of what Metropolis has been used for. So the music video for Queen's 1984 song Radio Gaga. Mm-hmm. The rock band Motorhead's album Overkill contains a song called Metropolis, which was written by Lemmy after he saw the film in 1979. David Bowie's 1974 album Diamond Dogs. Madonna's 1989 music video Express Yourself. Whitney Houston's 1994 music video Queen of the Night pays homage to Lang's film, with Houston wearing a metallic costume inspired by Maria.
Yes.
Likewise, in 1992's The Bodyguard, they use clips from the movie when Houston is singing in the nightclub. The movie's playing in the background, multi-screen in the background. The videos for Lady Gaga's songs Alejandro, Born This Way, and Applause all have nods to this movie.
No one here is surprised to hear that the Gaga did that, because she's the Gaga.
Again, from a cultural, I don't know, it's a pop culture standpoint.
In 1984, they redid a soundtrack for it, right? Because it had like Queen,
David
Queen, Loverboy. There were like they did a bunch of songs for the movie. Mm-hmm. So I think, first of all, I think it's visually very stunning.
It is,
right? It's like,
it is.
at that time to look at something that looked like that had to have been mind blowing for people, right? Just absolutely like.
I thought my mom was remembering it wrong when she talked about like everything that was done. I was like, okay, Jan, but it was.
My German people, we are we got
You
a
are
lot of work to do, but I think they had a really good like, because this movie is basically about class war.
Yeah.
Right. And there's the romantic part of it too, because there's almost no, real of this time anyway, that didn't involve some kind of, right. But the class war part of it actually kind of reminded me of of Arcane, right? The Netflix series based on the games by Riot. And it reminded me a little bit of that, right? Because the scientist's son, I think it's the scientist's son or whatever, goes down into the depths to find, the people and see the struggle and whatever. And so it reminded me a little bit of that. I just visually, I think it's beyond. It must have been mind blowing for people to see that. Like when you watch it now and you see when he actually transforms the robot into Maria or whatever, it's a little, it's a little hokey.
It's little bit, there's ones I see now that are made now that I'm like, no, it is.
But the fact that it, like to Sean's point, that it has touched into over the decades into other pop culture, into other things, I think is it's a tribute to how avant-garde it must have been at that time for people to see that.
Yep. Yeah.
A lasting impact. Number 13, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. This is from 1920. And boy, you're right. I didn't realize how many Germans. So this is considered the quintessential work of German expressionist cinema. And by far, it's the most famous example of that genre, I guess you'd call it. But it's considered a classic film. And they use this in a lot of film schools and the introductory film courses, film societies, museums. I would argue it's one of the most famous German films from the silent era.
Also visually like crazy because the buildings are all wacky and it looks like cardboard cutouts and stuff. And so it just looks like it's like a Fellini film before there was like a Fellini film, right? It's a little bit like that. It's like just the way that the doctor looks, the way that the other characters are, the little sleepwalker dude, like the whole thing is just, it looks wild.
It does.
So again, for the time, and this was early, right? This was 1920.
1920.
Right? So like, imagine like how you feel about Lon Chaney and how like the Max Schreck thing still to this day. Yeah. Imagine seeing this creepy shit.
No, especially the sleepwalk, the whole I cannot say that word, but I can spell it for you.
Somnambulist.
Okay, there.
What is that word?
A sleepwalker.
It means sleepwalker.
Just say sleepwalker.
Okay, well listen,
I didn't make
okay.
Attacked.
Are we good with?
Yeah, I just have creepy.
Because
it was
and I think I had also read something about that the ending, actually the studio made them put in kind of the twist ending in this.
And
it's from 1920 y'all, so let's just like, there won't be a spoiler here.
The twist?
But that he ends up, it was like Bobby Ewing, right? It was all a dream. Like he's an actual inmate in the asylum, and it turns out that all the other players are also people in the asylum in one, capacity or another.
Yes.
But that was not part of the original, and they did not like it. Because apparently, and again, this might be true, this is like when we watch goddamn Danish films that like just kill them and that's the end of it. There's no happy ending, right? For this one,
you ain't getting away when
I don't think there was any happy ending here. And then they had to make it like, oh well, it didn't really happen. It's just all in this dude's head.
Yep.
So
yeah, I think so. I really, really think so.
But it looks amazing and it's weird as shit. And it,
And have we spoken about spoilers in this? Because Michelle just said, spoiler alert, Bobby Ewing, and I just said a spoiler to a movie that just came out recently. And
I'm spoiling Dallas from like 1982.
Yeah,
There's
so
always that person.
so listen, the rules are, and I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. If it's longer than 20 years, it can't be a spoiler alert. Now you violated that, but that's fine because I don't know that you did a spoiler alert.
It's so much as
it
say
was
like
vague.
a remake, like The Vanishing. The Vanishing, the original, is very different than the Vanishing. Sandra Bullock. It was Sandra Bullock that
How
disappeared,
dare?
right?
Yes, it is.
She wasn't very nice.
Oh wow. Okay, so number 14,
But that's not why you should
Battleship
disagree.
Potemkin.
No.
1925. So the film is actually set in June of 1905. The protagonists of the film are the members of the crew of the Potemkin, a battleship of the Imperial Russian Navy's Black Sea Fleet. So what's good? This movie is divided into 5 acts, and I just want to read the title of each of the acts. Act 1, Men and Maggots. Act 2, Drama on the Deck. Act 3, The Dead Man Calls Out. Act 4, The Odessa Steps. Act 5, One Against All. And so I will say that Orson Welles, Michael Mann, Paul Greengrass, they all list this movie as one of their favorite films. Director Billy Wilder actually named it his all-time favorite film. And so that's just my notes. Any notes on Battleship Potemkin?
My first note was this is also a clip in Under Pressure. So that's the only clip I've ever seen of this. Was
Okay.
In the video for Under Pressure. But I thought because of the way it's broken up into the 5 acts, I was like, oh, I would totally watch this. It seems interesting to me. And reading through the plot summary, it was like, oh, right. They were like, you're not going to feed us gross ass meat with bugs in it. So we're going to rise up and good for you. Right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it starts. Right. Like, so I was like, yeah.
And then at the end, rather than like fire upon them, you cheer them on, like the ones that you're
and
supposed
also
to.
it feels like it was maybe, and this is probably not a good comparison, but it also feels like it was a big film, like in
Who did this?
in visuals, right?
Where
Like
was this done?
Where was it done?
Was it
Russian?
Is it Russian?
It's Russian.
I know it's
Yeah.
based in Russia. I didn't know if it was a Russian film.
It is a Russian film.
Ooh, I did not get that.
Yes.
And so I feel like it probably looked kind of epic and big, although I guess I don't know that because again, the only clip I've ever seen is a music
So
video.
do you have Stalin in 25?
Again,
This was made in 25, right?
Yes.
So is this this would be
but it
during
was set in 1905.
Yeah, set during the Tsars. Yeah, I'm just no. We don't even want to get
Okay.
in
Anything
that
else
boat
about-
with me.
No, I bet visually it probably
Was
goes
Yeah.
right up there with some of the other wartime
Yeah.
movies that's representative of the period.
yeah.
Okay. So next on the list, number 15, Pandora's Box, 1929.
Germans.
Oh,
Weird-ass Germans.
G.W. Pabst. So a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about Pabst and then a little bit about Mary Louise Brooks, right? So in 1910, George Wilhelm Pabst traveled to the United States, and he's working as an actor and a director at a German theater in New York City. In 1914, he decides to become a director. And so he returned to recruit actors in Europe, right?
Okay.
So he leaves the U.S. and he goes back to, because he wants to be a director, he wants a stable, he goes to Europe. He was in France when World War I began.
I was just gonna say that probably wasn't a good time to travel back.
Point is not a great life plan for GW here. He is arrested and held
For being German?
and held as an
I'm
enemy,
not being racist or
and held as an enemy alien.
Okay.
And interned in a prisoner of war camp near Brest. While imprisoned, Pabst organized a theater group at the camp and directed French
Hogan's
language
Heroes.
plays.
Man, theater kids gonna be theater kids. You cannot
You
stop.
cannot stop
Happy
them.
Pride, everybody.
So then, upon his release in 1919, he returns to Vienna and he becomes a director of the Neue Wiener, I don't know, an avant-garde theater. I'm not going to try and say it. And so that's a little bit about GW. So before we go into the movie, anything I missed? Anything about Pabst? Not the beer, Michelle.
Is he related to the Beer family?
Oh boy. Okay.
Because that was a good family to be related to. Well, but there's money.
I found this interesting as well. So the star of this movie is Mary Louise Brooks. And so a little bit about Brooks. At the age of 15, she begins her career as a dancer. She toured with the Dennis Shawn School of Dancing and Related Arts. She was fired from there, but she found employment as a chorus girl in George White's Scandals as a semi-nude dancer in the Ziegfeld Follies in New York City.
Okay. Fanny Price.
While dancing in the Follies, she comes to the attention of Walter Wagner, who was a producer at Paramount, and he signs her to a 5-year contract with the studio. She was in movies, but they were all like supporting roles. She gets the lead in a movie called Beggars of Life. And during this time, she became intimate friends of Marion Davies, and ultimately joined the social circle, I guess we'll call it, of William Randolph Hearst. So she starts hanging out at Hearst Castle in San Simeon. And so around that time, she becomes disillusioned with this whole idea and goes to Germany to become an actress. And so she's cast as the lead in Pandora's Box. And upon the film's release in Germany, so Pandora's Box comes out, Pabst is accused in public of making a scandalous version of the play that it's based on, in which the Lulu character, Brooks, is presented as a man-eater devouring her sexual victims. Critics in Berlin particularly dismissed the film as a travesty of its source material. And I said all of that to say this. One of the biggest complaints in Germany was that the Countess, played by Mary Louise Brooks, was a lesbian.
Yeah, she was enamored with her, which allows her to use her passport to travel, because she also was I think they used the word enamored, but what they meant was
they were lesbians. Yes. And so that having the heroine of the movie be the Countess be a lesbian was very controversial. And then also she was American. And
I thought that was going to be their number one.
That was actually their number two.
That was going to be their number one.
Yeah, the hate on her really was, and this movie was because she was American, but it was secondary to she was a lesbian. They portrayed the lead as a lesbian. So I found that little bit of background interesting on both the director and the star. Yeah. But let's go back to Pandora's Box as a movie and back to the Germans again. What?
I've not seen it. And just like reading, the treatise of it, I thought this seems very, I don't know, like it would have been okay. Probably not all that exciting, probably not all that visually, but the way, even in the plot summaries that I read, they throw away the part, like they just mention it as, because again, like they use the word enamored, or I think I read another, but never have said, hey, like she was into it, and so that's why she let her use her passport to travel or whatever. But even in those like plot summaries, they kind of throw it away like it's not that big a deal. Yeah. But at this time, to Sean's point, it was a huge deal. Like they were like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So portraying that, right, on the screen might make, Yeah,
I just have all in caps. Why are these movies so misogynistic? Why? It is. It's very.
I don't like you said, excusing someone's behavior because they're old or because it was a different time. I don't really subscribe to that as an answer, but we have to acknowledge that in the 1920s, life was very different, and mostly, and not only, but mostly for women. And so
we've come so far.
Have we? So again, for this movie,
this was it looks like it was a meh movie to me. Like everything everything I read on it, I was just like, yeah. And it seems like, for Pandora's Box, like if you I went in looking this movie,
something much more exciting.
I was so, to quote,
okay,
I was so excited. Like I was so excited. Yeah. But it was just like,
Yeah,
Okay.
I had the expectation hearing that title of something much more exciting than what I, again, haven't seen it, but read through and
She
thought.
probably went to Germany to get away from Hearst and Marion Davies.
Yes. She did.
No, I mean,
and all the
I thought
rest
you
of
just
the
said
people
she became disenchanted.
with those people. With
Okay,
the
disenchanted, but there's people that I don't want to hang out with anymore. I don't move to another continent. That just tells you how bad those.
You know what? I got to cancel some plans.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cancel that Europe
such
trip,
a
Michelle. Okay, so number 16. Un chien andalou, which is actually French for an Andalusian dog.
Yes.
But 1929. There's a very specific reason I put this in here, but
because of Dolly.
well, no, that's just that's gravy on top. But this is actually a French silent short film, directed and produced and edited by Louis Buñuel, but was the co-writer of the screenplay was Salvador Dali.
That explains a lot,
right?
Released in limited capacity in Paris, but it became so popular that it broadened to a wider audience, ran for 8 months in theaters. And in
so
the
it's
20s,
like the Star Wars of the 20s?
How dare you? But here's why I put it in. This was a film scholar, Ken Danziger, but he argued that this movie is most likely the genesis of the filmmaking style present in modern music videos. And so Roger Ebert said this is the inspiration for low-budget independent films. Premiere Magazine ranked the opening scene of this movie
Premiere Magazine
as in the top 10 list of the 25 most shocking moments in movie history.
Can you get old premieres like online?
I think you can.
Because we prescribed it. I would love to read old premieres because that's when people like told. Me too. Because that's like when people would like tell the truth beyond just Jennifer Lopez saying she didn't like Gwyneth Paltrow. It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
My notes on this are what the actual fuck.
Oh.
And are these people all on laudanum? when I read the synopsis, right? First I was like, oh, this is gonna be Fellini-esque, right? It's gonna be fucking weird, and it's gonna be like, borderline uncomfortable. And then I just kept reading the thing, and I was like, okay, nope. But I laughed out loud. They describe as part of the plot point where he's trying to keep the girl from leaving the room, and he grabs 2 ropes that are pulling, and you might need to quote me or find the quote on this, but 2 grand pianos, 2 pumpkins, 2 nachos. I fell out laughing because I was like, 2 grand pianos on ropes, and he's pulling them to keep a girl. What the fuck?
Oh my
is
God.
happening?
So neither of you have seen this movie.
No,
So I haven't seen the movie, but when I saw this 25 most shocking moments in movie history, in all of movie history, I'm like,
do with the hand and the ants? No. Oh boy, no.
So I found the clip of the opening on YouTube. I don't recommend it. It is a guy, and Andrea's favorite, with a straight razor, slices the eyeball. That's the opening scene, and that is what Premiere ranked that opening sequence.
Yeah, because it's cut. I read this because it's cut between like. Again, kind of. I keep going back to Fellini because that was
have a hot flash.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was like cut to like she's looking at the moon,
Yep.
and then a cloud comes to dissect the moon, and then he dissects her fucking eye.
That is exactly the opening scene. But even in 1929, the way that it's shot, like the eyeball getting kind of cut open, all that stuff. I'll spare that. But so Akira Kurosawa cites this as one of his favorite films of all time. And then here we go. This is what I was really wanted to get to. This film was shown before every concert of David Bowie's Isoleur 1976 tour. So before he comes out, this movie is shown. And then there's a reference in a Pixies song. The song is Debaser. It references this movie. That song does.
You have the line?
I don't.
Shit.
I should look it up.
I'm ashamed. I apologize to my music people because I should.
Yeah, Debaser.
I know the song.
Hang on. So really, listen, I put this in for several reasons, but the big one was, well, the Bowie thing for Michelle, but the
She
opening.
gets the Bowie thing. I get the straight razor. Thanks.
I'm here for
Yeah,
you.
they say Chien Andalusia in it over and over. So why do I not? Yeah, and again, I apologize. This
There
is
you
terrible.
go.
Although this is later Pixies when I was not.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot for it.
Got me a movie, I want you to know. Slicing up eyeballs, I want you to know. Girly so groovy, I want you to know. Don't know about you, but I am un Chien Andalusia. And then
That's the lyrics from the Pixie song. Okay. So this is why I put this movie in there.
Salvador Dali is referred to in The Last Great American Dynasty by Taylor Swift. So I'm just going to throw that out.
So movie number 17, The Passion of Joan Arc, 1928.
Joan.
This is a French silent historical film based on the actual record of the trial of
I
Joan
did
of Arc.
respect that. I respected that it was based on the actual trial.
This is widely regarded as a landmark of cinema, especially for its production. So Dreyer's direction, Falconetti's performance, which is often listed as one of the finest in cinema history. So her depiction of Joan of Arc. The film summarizes a time that Joan of Arc was a captive of England, depicting her trial and ultimately her execution. Pauline Kael wrote that Falconetti's portrayal may be the finest performance ever recorded on film. Roger Ebert from Pauline, that's high praise. Roger Ebert praised the film and said, "You cannot know the history of silent film unless you know the face of Renee Maria Falconetti."
Okay.
Falconetti became a stage actress in Paris by entertaining soldiers during World War I. She was selected for the lead role in a production, La Passion de Jeanne d'Arc. She was already a celebrated stage artist at 35 years old. Her portrayal is widely considered one of the most astonishing performances committed to film, and it remains her only cinematic role. This is the only movie.
Did she go back to stage?
Yeah. So she was on stage her whole life, made this movie, never made another movie.
Okay.
So whether or not, though, it's her first film, that's a topic of debate. Some people claim she has 2 previous film credits, though there's a supposed interview with her where she says it's her first film after a few test pictures. So either way, it's still her last movie that she ever made. So during World War II, she escapes from France, first to Switzerland, Brazil, and then Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Why did she go to Buenos Aires?
Falconetti suffered from mental illness all her life, and in 1946 she died in Buenos Aires, an apparent suicide, but it was a self-imposed restrictive diet after becoming overweight. She starved herself to death. And I don't know why I went down the dark road. I just
are you German?
So let's go back to The Passion of Joan Arc. I didn't mean to do that.
You want to talk about when my parents were killed by a drunk driver?
No. Okay. They weren't, everybody. Sorry.
I'm quoting the wedding singer. Sorry, everybody.
So Passion of Joan Arc, 1928.
Okay, let's give it up for the fact of this is a silent movie. Think about how she has to emote as this poor 14-year-old girl, because Joan of Arc was 14, right?
Again, I don't know why you're
Can I
asking
say yes to you?
Also, could we put up Jane Weedland for a good Joan of Arc?
I love Jane Weedland.
She was great. She was great. Anyway, I totally get it. It's just I'm so tired of the religion of this century. And also here, follow God in the 15 movies or 16 movies before this. When we bring up God, you do God, and you only do God. Hey, I'm talking with God. We're gonna kill you. You're crazy.
Yeah, this is the one that I would, of the religious ones of this time, this is the one I would say, yeah.
This is me too. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
This is the one we can do.
This is the one that because
got it.
Yeah,
because she's a martyr.
And she stood on business, right?
They
offered her all kinds of stuff, and then she had a weak moment, and then she thought about it, and she was like, "No, you know what? Bring them back. I take it back."
Yeah, it's almost more. It is more just because of the story of Joan.
Yeah,
and I think that it was.
I bet it probably does look for the time.
I bet it was.
Right. It probably.
It's yeah. I would if they could manage to make this. I've never seen a version that, and there's this book by Anne Rivers Siddons. I can't remember the name of it, but in the book, the woman goes to visit her sister who is an actress, and they are doing the Joan of Arc like movie, and just reading it and the way that she has it written out and the way her sister acts, and then her daughter actually sits in as Joan, and it's so deep and dark and evil, and I'm like, could somebody call up Anne and see if you can get her to write the script of this, and then I don't know, get Florence Pugh, get anything with Florence Pugh, but okay, yeah, that
Okay.
we can move on.
Yeah. So number 18, Sherlock Jr., 1924. So this is an American silent comedy film starring and directed by Buster Keaton, written by Clyde Bruckman. And so I think I have to pause and just ask Roscoe Arbuckle, Fatty Arbuckle. What do we know about Fatty?
He was not a great dude, but he was a funny dude.
Okay.
And I was actually surprised that there were no
Yes,
that there were
so was I.
no Fatty
Arbuckle on this list. I was surprised. Yeah. I know that there was.
Pardon the pun. He was huge at the time, right? He was like funny and
yeah. What were you gonna say?
Well, there were the rape allegations and trial and murder. Yeah. But didn't he like? Yeah, like.
And so why I was made the face to Michelle and why I'm reacting that way to you is, and why I'm bringing it up right now is it does tie into this movie. So Roscoe Arbuckle actually discovered Buster Keaton when we were talking. Buster Keaton was a vaudeville actor with his fam, all that stuff. Fatty Arbuckle discovered him and got him into movies. Fatty Arbuckle up until 1920, because it was around 1920, there was a party. Fatty Arbuckle was at the party. Virginia Rapp was at the party. That much we're certain of. And Virginia Rapp is drugged and raped and subsequently dies. And
didn't she die of like a ruptured?
It wasn't like she was murdered in the room. She died 3 days later.
Yeah, but it was like they ruptured her.
Something to do with
something internal organ. And I'm very sorry to any that poor girl.
Yes, absolutely. Girl. And I don't want to. I'm not apologizing for Fatty here, but the only witness in this case is she's a con artist, blackmailer, not a great reputation, and she claims that Arbuckle did this to Virginia Rapp. Arbuckle's arrested, tried on the first trial for rape and murder. It's a hung jury. On the second one, it's a mistrial, and then on the third one, they actually find him innocent. And the jury actually write a letter and read it in open court, apologizing to him for his treatment by the criminal justice system. Now it's 1920. So we've already talked about the time and the misogyny and all of that.
Personality.
Whatever happened in that room, Virginia Rapp is dead, and there's proof she was raped. I don't know if Fatty Arbuckle did it or not, but it didn't matter because the trial and the coverage of it destroyed him. He lost, his mansion, his cars. He was in debt $750,000 at the end of the trial. He's broken. So Buster Keaton wants to help out his friend, and he hires him under the pseudonym William Goodrich to co-direct Sherlock Jr. So that's why I went through that. It does seem like I'm in a dark mood. I'm not. This is history, okay?
But this is from what I remember of the Fatty Arbuckle trials, and many times their scripts been floating around Hollywood forever to make that everything. I hate that because I lean towards thinking he didn't do it. I was not there. And also, like you and I talk about like not believing the woman, not believing the victim. And
and in this case, the victim could not speak for herself, but another woman, although she had, and because of, she had that kind of reputation, they were like,
but that doesn't.
But it killed his career.
But my point to all of that
it killed his career, but it
he's
also
broken.
shows. But I'm sorry, what was his nickname?
Fatty?
Why was that his nickname?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, because he was morbidly obese. All this, I knew all these answers. All this, no, because the same freaking thing happened to Errol Flynn in the next decade. That's where In Like Flynn comes. That's a break. But hold on. If Errol Flynn comes up, I'm bringing up his dirty fucking laundry because he did it.
Robert Wagner later too, but let's hang on for now.
I'm going to need 2 new panelists for this show.
You knew that going
You
in.
can have Luna, and I'll go get Alex.
Okay, so this movie, Keaton feels responsible to help out Fatty, brings him on. Fatty and Buster are co-directing this movie. And so the third day on set, Arbuckle makes a suggestion that Keaton doesn't take, and Fatty Arbuckle becomes angry and abusive on set to everyone, yelling at actors, and according to Keaton, becomes flushed and mad, screaming at anyone in the general area. I believe the scandal just changed his disposition. Arbuckle was too difficult to work with. So this is coming from Keaton's autobiography. So I arranged for him to direct another movie called The Red Mill so that I could direct this movie alone.
Or perhaps, under stress, he became his actual self.
That is a distinct possibility. What?
So again, he brings Fatty in to help him. Fatty and he don't get along. Fatty's off. So the other part about this that I thought was interesting, but this movie includes one of Buster Keaton's most famous accidents on set injuries. So there's a scene where Keaton is supposed to grab a water spout while walking on a moving boxcar train, doing all of these stunts, by the way. But the water flooded down on him harder than he anticipated, throwing him to the ground off the train.
Off the
moving train. The back of Keaton's neck slams against a steel rail on the ground, and he blacks out.
Oh, Jesus.
The pain was so intense that Keaton had to stop shooting that day, and he had blinding headaches for weeks afterwards, but continued working. In 1935, we're filming this in 1924. In 1935, a doctor was doing an X-ray of a different injury and spotted a callus over a fracture in Keaton's top vertebrae. The doctor informed Keaton he had broken his neck during the accident 9 years earlier, and he didn't realize it. So Keaton was famous for having this high threshold for physical pain. He broke his neck on this movie.
the hell?
I've been with you when you've been like, yeah, I can't move my neck this morning. I yawned.
Okay, so Rotten Tomatoes still 88% on this movie, and with an average rating of 9.8 out of 10. Wow. In 2005, Time magazine named Sherlock Jr. as one of the all-time 100 movies. Quote, writing, the impeccable comedian directs himself in an impeccable silent comedy. Is this, as some critics have argued, an example of primitive American surrealism?
Because there's a scene where, and this is, I think, like why this is a visually, a good representation, where he goes into the movie, right? Mm-hmm. So like Purple Rose of Cairo, and I'm pretty sure Woody Allen lifted it, and maybe he even credited this movie with that. But he goes into he becomes Sherlock Jr. in the movie because he's a projectionist at a movie house, and a thing happens, and he goes to investigate it, and he goes into the movie, right? So as a viewer, you're like, oh, who's seen that before? No one, right? And then later they do it with Purple Rose of Cairo, right? Which
and Last Action Hero. Wait, was that the name of that movie?
Last Action Hero.
Yeah, but this maybe was before.
Do you think so?
Great one.
I don't know.
I think James Cameron had a standalone idea, and these people copied him in reverse.
Oh, are we defending James Cameron now?
No.
Number 19, Greed.
Not on this podcast.
Greed from 1924. Fascinating movie. I cannot wait to get into this. But so it's an American silent psychological drama written and directed by Erich von Stroheim. but based on an 1899 novel, McTeague. It's just the name of it, McTeague. It sounds like a movie John Wayne would have made in the 70s, but no, he didn't. Okay, so Greed is one of the few films of its time to be shot entirely on location. So von Stroheim shot approximately 85 hours of footage before editing. 2 months alone were spent shooting in Death Valley for the final film sequence.
Almost for some of them, it was their
And
final.
many of the cast and crew became ill, yes. But von Stroheim used sophisticated filming techniques. There deep focus cinematography, montage editing. He considered Greed to be a Greek tragedy in which environment and hereditary controlled the characters' fates and reduced them to primitive human beasts. So the original cut of this movie is over 9 hours long. Greed was edited against von Stroheim's wishes to about 2.5 hours. It's rumored only 12 people ever saw the full length 42 reel version.
That's what my notes say. 42 reels. That's it. That is my notes on this.
That is now lost. The 42 reels. So let me keep, because the story of this, I think it's.
But can we just talk about these studios losing everything? Who was in charge? John Knotts? Was that your security guy? What the fuck?
Uncut version of this movie, the 9 hour 42 reel version. The uncut version of this movie has been called the Holy Grail for film archivists. There are repeated false claims of discovery of the missing footage. In 1999, Turner Entertainment created a 4-hour version that used existing stills of cutscenes to reconstruct the film. Greed was a critical and financial failure upon its release, but by the 50s, it began to be regarded as one of the greatest films ever made.
Because it was lost, right?
Correct.
Because you always, it's your girlfriend in Niagara Falls. It doesn't exist. So
How did you know about her? Guillermo del Toro called this movie a perfect reflection of the anxiety permeating the passage into the 20th century and the absolute dehumanization that has to come.
I'm not going to lie. Anything that guy says, I'm going to be like, okay.
And this one's for Andrea. In 1994, there was a movie called Greedy, and Jonathan Lynn, the director, pays tribute to this movie by giving the main characters the last name McTeague.
I love Greedy.
I know.
That
you do.
I didn't like the Beatles and I don't like you. One of the best Phil Hartman lines ever. And he says it to who? Olivia Diabo.
Okay, so just I don't want to go.
Remember?
I don't want to go too far on this. We have
sorry.
We have one movie left, and we still have to pare it down. But listen, some of the myths around this movie. The original one has said to be over 100 reels long. Van Stroheim said it was 42 reels, although several of the people who saw the cut remembered it being somewhere between 42 and 47. So MGM's official studio lists the original cut at 22 reels. As of 92, former MGM story editor Samuel Marks claimed the original version was 70 reels. Nobody even knows how many reels.
This is insane.
That original cut, that 9-hour cut was. I'm sorry, I just have like 5 more of these. But there are various reports of the original version being uncovered in a vault in South America that is screened once a year for a select group of guests on New Year's Eve.
Did anybody see The Boys from Brazil?
Another claim was that a copy is in the possession of a Texas millionaire and was sold to Henry Langlois of the French cinema. But a film society in Boston supposedly held a private screening of a print discovered by a World War II vet in Berlin.
Then did they all go insane?
These go
Did their
on.
eyes start bleeding? This is
von Stroheim
this is a Cronenberg movie.
Himself stated that Benito Mussolini owned a personal copy of the film.
Does this not tell you enough about the film that it's the Nazis in Brazil? It's Mussolini.
Wait, you might be onto something.
Maybe this movie should not be viewed like Texas Millionaire, which now
Yeah,
means
it's like the Ark of
billionaire.
the Covenant.
That's what I was like.
What the
I
hell?
know where it is. I saw it get wheeled by in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
So
That's what's in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
is this?
It's green, a
You
9
can
hour
fit
cut of green.
42 reels in there.
Hey,
Can we get Quentin on here? Can we
Oh,
get
yeah.
Quentin on?
My dream. I want to hang with that dude so bad. But so here, who's in charge of it, Andrea? There were several reports that MGM had retained a copy of the original version. Iris Berry of the Museum of Modern Art claimed that a copy was locked in the MGM vaults. It was reported that John Houseman had a private screening at MGM of the 9-hour version. Lottie Eisner once claimed that sometime during the 1950s and 60s, several films in the MGM vault labeled McTeague were found and destroyed by executives before they realized it was the footage from Greed. I love these stories. I don't know why. It's fascinating to me.
That's crazy.
So Greed, 1924.
I think basically like everything you just said that's notes. It's just greed. And it's your greed of your ego that you had to make 800 million reels and almost kill your cast and crew. Like, you know what? I would send this up to space. Do you want to know the assholes we bred on this planet? This guy.
That's not what we're doing
Yeah,
here.
but here's the thing. Hey, you got to do warts and all, right? Because eventually we're gonna have Kubrick on here, and
Okay, you'll
Kubrick.
Hubert.
I said Kubrick.
Games of the 80s. Okay,
You know
last
Don't
movie.
even.
The last movie.
Okay,
The Kid, 1921. So this is American silent comedy drama film written, produced, directed, and starring Charlie Chaplin. It also features Jackie Coogan as his foundling baby, adopted son, and sidekick. So this is Chaplin's first full-length film as a director. It was a huge success. It was the second highest grossing film of 1921. And then the film made Coogan, who, again, he was a vaudeville performer, into the first major child star of Hollywood, of the movies. It's been speculated that oh boy, Sean's going dark again. It's been speculated that the depth of the relationship portrayed in the film has a connection with the death of Chaplin's firstborn infant son 10 days before the production of this movie began.
What the hell?
As of January of 21, The Kid has earned a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The website's critical consensus is this: Charlie Chaplin's irascible tramp is given able support from Jackie Coogan as the Kid in this slapstick masterpiece, balancing the guffaws with moments of disarming poignancy.
Oh, heck yeah.
Thoughts
The movie
about
is
The Kid?
heartbreaking and funny. And Michelle, you go first.
Oh, that's the one. That's the Chaplin
Yes.
That's the Chaplin
That's the
The
Chaplin.
movie, the movie
Yeah,
you've
that's-
watched.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
because it was funny and it was
Sweet.
it was sweet and endearing and
It's so much. And then and Jackie Coogan. And then also, we have Coogan's Law, because his parents are like, give me all your money. They're greed. But it's a really good script. It's so well done. Like you said, there's the points where you're laughing, but you're also crying. And this woman has to leaves her baby in the car and just says, like, please adopt and love my baby, because she can't afford it. And then she's like, goes back because she's like, fuck it, I'll do, and the baby's gone. And so you think about it's very it's very, and here's another person I do not care for. It's very I can never say it right, but his name is Charles Dickens. Dix.
Dixonian.
It's Sonian? I thought it was Dickensian.
I like Dixonian. Honestly, I'm
too.
going to use that. Probably not in the way you think.
But it is very much in the she was at the depths of despair and deeper, but then she goes on to become a huge actress and rich and famous, but she uses her power for good and is going to orphanage, doing all this great stuff, and then in the end they connect, and and then Charlie Chaplin gets to come live with them because he did all these great things, and I love it. That's it.
Okay.
That's my notes. It's
Michelle,
going.
any notes?
Oh,
Any
like
thoughts?
Andrea said.
Okay. Well, that's the list of 20. So now
You
we can go
survived,
back. It's what you two have been trying to do the whole podcast. Let's try to break this list of 20 down to a list of 10.
Mr. Shoop.
Yes. You've been in the
Hey.
bathroom for the last 5 months. But I don't know what you're.
Okay.
I have a question about and maybe this is for off camera, but I noticed that there are
Pause. I don't mean to cut you off.
no, I know.
I am so sorry.
I'm asking what you're
At
trying to
the
say.
end of the list of 20, I completely forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Listen, so for the listener and for my two panelists, I'll remind you, but there's another piece of this that I call you get one. And so you get one. The rules are I ask each of the panelists if there is any movie on this list that they would replace. Is there a movie that I left off the list and that they think should be on the list instead of something else? Here's the thing. This isn't Uno. It's not a wild card. Okay. So just saying, I think this is not enough. You have to convince me that I have a movie on this list that maybe doesn't belong on this list. So with that being said, I'm going to start with Michelle because you reminded me. Do you have a movie that you would like to litigate?
Can I start with the movie I have to start with the one I would take off?
No, well, let's do this. Let's start with the movie you would add to this list.
Notice there is a great lack of Western movies on this, right? Like I'm not a great big like Western genre person, but they're like Greed is probably, sorry, Andrea, probably the only movie that's kind of set in the West, right? Like there's no like cowboy movies on this per se, like, right?
Is there a cowboy movie in particular?
I would argue that I would add In Old Arizona, which came out in 1928.
Okay.
It was the first, if I'm recalling this correctly, it was the first film to be shot as a talkie outdoors. So the equipment they would have had to have in order to get the sound and the dialogue recorded outdoors. And it's a Western, it's based on the Cisco Kid. And I feel like that's just a genre. It's no reflection on whether Westerns are good or not. It's just that there's not one on this list of 20.
Okay.
And so I would say that if you wanted to show aliens like, this was the Old West kind of thing, there's no representation of that on this list. But there are a lot of Jesus on this list.
Okay. Well, I am
Jesus was a cowboy.
I'm very open to losing one of the Jesus movies.
I mean, if it were me, I would take just me.
Well, this is you. This
Okay,
is your, you get one.
I would take the 23 version of 10 Commandments off to revisit that as the remake because it's still Cecil B. DeMille. He directed both of them.
I will allow this. I like this. Okay.
Because he directed both of them,
Yes.
I would take this version of the 10 Commandments off and come back to and add it back when we get to the 50s.
Yes.
And put that back on and then add In Old Arizona for consideration. Because I don't know, because there's two of them, and the second one I think you could argue is the better version of that film, same director.
Yep.
And there's no Westerns on this. That's my biggest argument.
I made the change, but I still I point of parliamentary procedure. I like what you're saying about revisiting that movie in the 50s, but we are not talking about what's better as much as we're talking about what represents. But fair, I'm accepting your argument on the premise that we don't have any Westerns, and I think that that we should at least have it in the list of 20. So that's good. And Old Arizona is now on the list. And oh, why didn't I take it off? And 10 Commandments, correct?
Yes.
Is going bye-bye. Andrea, do you have one?
I do.
Okay.
I have Coquette.
Excuse me?
Starring Mary Pickford, which it's 1929, and your Wi-Fi down here is not working the way I want it to, and it's making me have a hot flash. But it's the list. There's no Mary Pickford on here, and she was like these in the 20s. She is, yeah, and she started UA because she was married to Douglas Fairbanks at the time, I believe. Very good friends with Charlie Chaplin. She is in Ben-Hur as a chariot race viewer.
Okay,
Like,
don't tell me she's not in any of this list then. Come on.
how come she gets like fucking flowers and like
Okay, so listen, two things. If we're gonna have this,
Coquette is, though, it's a very well done film. Like she is in a plethora of movies, but Coquette is where it's the story of um she's rich, she's daddy's darling, she could have any man in town, but she falls in love with a working class man, and she is up at his cabin, and her dad discovers her there and kills Michael, the working class man. The guy who has dirt under his nails. And it's then the subsequent, they talk about how like the death scene is so riveting, like that she does an amazing job, but also then her father is put on trial for the murder. And so I think it's a really good film. It is a talkie, but it's just, she does such a great job. And she was, to me, when I do think of film in the 20s, Mary Pickford is one of the women that my mind goes to immediately.
so
What'd you see?
if I accept
You
the
made a Michelle
argument,
face. You made a Mew.
if I accept the argument,
Mhm.
then what movie gets dropped?
Let's see. What movie? Ben-Hur. Yeah, Ben-Hur.
Y'all killing me.
Ben-Hur.
Okay, Ben-Hur.
Ooh, it's a toss-up between.
Michelle, what are you showing?
Oh,
Because we have a couple of those already.
yeah. No, I would get rid of the big parade before Ben-Hur
Why?
because we have a couple of those already.
Big parades? Okay, it's off the list. Okay, so thank you again, Michelle, for reminding me of my own rules. Now, this is our complete list of 20. And so we're starting with the general. 1926, Buster Keaton.
I vote yes.
I vote yes.
You can't vote yes on all 20, just so you. We're
Oh,
trying to
we
get to
can't.
10. Number 2, Gold Rush, 1925, Charlie Chaplin.
I'm a no.
I'm a no because I'm going to vote
There's
for
going to
the
be
other
another one.
Chaplin.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm going to vote for the other
Safety
Chaplin.
last.
Yeah. I vote yes.
I vote yes. Also, fuck that guy.
Fuck
Harold Lloyd.
Wings.
I vote yes.
Yes. What do we have? 5 left?
We have 3. We're trying to get to 10. We have 3.
Oh, I thought that the
We
ones
haven't litigated those 2 that you put on the list. That's for the
oh.
list of 20.
Okay.
Okay. The General, Safety Last, Wings, Phantom of the Opera, 1925.
Hold on.
I gotta count my votes.
Oh. What are we at?
We have 3.
I vote yes.
Does it have to be a consensus?
Not at all.
Okay,
I'll be the deciding.
I vote no on that one, but for another reason.
There's a
Because I'm going to go with the other one.
well, see, and that's the thing is yeah.
Okay. Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans.
I vote yes. It's crazy.
It is like for. I vote yes.
Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ.
No.
No.
Oh boy. The Jazz Singer.
No. I want to vote yes, but I can't.
But I'm sending it into space. It's not like
Well,
I'm gonna vote yes based on. I mean,
I changed my vote based on the rules. I changed my vote. I say
Okay.
yes.
Thank you for following the rules for once today. Nosferatu.
yes.
Oh yes, 100%.
Where are we at?
We have 6.
We have 6, and Nosferatu is number 11.
Correct. Listen, the point of this podcast is this is difficult to do, right?
Yeah.
Like this, it requires. We've been at this for 2 hours just to get down to 10 movies, which is amazing.
And for
but
those
it's
that
hard.
have stuck around, thank you.
So Nosferatu, Metropolis.
Yes.
Yes.
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
No.
Say no.
Battleship Potemkin.
You said we have 7?
We have to have 3 more.
We have 7. We have 3 left.
Oh Jesus! All right, let me see. I don't like this part. I have to say no
Okay.
based on what I want to vote for later.
Got it. Pandora's Box,
No.
1929.
I didn't vote on Battleship Potemkin, but Michelle did, so life's complete. Well, I'm a no, but still.
I can't imagine why I do what I do. Pandora's Box, I'm sorry. No. Okay. Unchien Andalou.
N-
No.
No.
Passion of Joan of Arc.
Yes.
Oh, that's a surprise. Okay. Sherlock Jr.
No.
2 more.
We have 2 more.
I'll say no because we already have a Buster Keaton.
Well, I'm saying no.
Even though
we
I
already
like
have the
I
gem.
like the purple rose. Yeah, I like the purple rose Cairo angle on like what they would have seen at the time, but we already have. So I'm going to say no.
And 1 second, sorry, I gotta update this list. Okay. Greed.
No.
That's a no, I know. The Kid
Yes. A resounding yes.
Yes.
in Old Arizona.
No.
My vote is yes.
And
I'm going to do this every time.
the Coquette, is that how you say it?
My vote is yes.
I'm going to say yes because Mary Pickford, but I still feel terrible that there's no Westerns on this list still, then now. I feel like the aliens should know about the Old West in the 1920s. In the 20s.
I was gonna say, but we have
But
the
not
30s.
necessarily. It's coming up, and they're going to get. There's going to be
There's
more
gonna be-
of them. There's going to
Yes.
be more of them. But I think that yes, we would be doing a great disservice to bleep blop bloop in the
Yes.
in the great alien.
Yes.
That's the alien's name, by the way. It's bleep
I
blop
like that you named the alien, and there's only one.
Thank you,
It's
Lori.
just well, he's the head. He's
Okay.
the head.
But here's the
If
thing
we do not show them Mary Pickford, we have not represented the 20s.
and in the 20s, whereas Westerns were done, it was more about,
It's going to come later with like
yes,
the 40s.
yes,
So,
yes.
Heartfelt thank you to both of you for putting up with my dark stories and all my nonsense. But I appreciate the work that you put into this. You both came in prepared, made compelling arguments, and we have our final 10. So we have the General, Safety Last, Wings. What was that? Sunrise, A Tale of the Song of Two Humans. Jazz Singer, Nosferatu, Metropolis, Passion of Joan of Arc, The Kid, and Coquette. Those are our 10. In our next episode, we're going to have to break those 10 down to the top 5. So,
and then we put those 5 in a. Is there a billionaire? Is there a billionaire that makes one that I'll just stick with NASA. I don't want those fuckers touching my stuff. No.
You don't trust? Okay, you trust NASA with the capsule or not?
Oh my God, Scott Glenn worked there.
Okay, not a documentary.
No, Sam Shepard.
But
no.
Okay.
Ooh, but so did Dennis Quaid.
All right.
So that's our show, folks, for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully there wasn't too much yelling at your TV or radio over some of our takes. Here's the bad news. We regret nothing. So until next time, thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Very bad.
Wait, glasses fell off again.